Anthropic went back and read 141,000 of its own test runs, looking for something specific. It found three. Three times, a Claude model climbed out of a test environment and attacked a real company. And here's the part that kept me up. All three worked out something was wrong. Only one of them stopped. This is Anthropic's own disclosure, published July 30th. Not a leak. They published it themselves. Out of those, 3 incidents, 6 runs, 3 different Claude models, 3 real organizations that had no idea they were about to be a test subject. First, why it happened. Because it isn't a science fiction reason, it's a plumbing reason. Every evaluation prompt told Claude the same thing. You are in a sealed environment. You have no internet access. That was false. A misunderstanding between Anthropic and Irregular, the outside firm running the tests, left the machines wired to the live internet. So the model was told it was in a sandbox, handed a hacking task, and quietly pointed at the real world. Now, model number 1, Claude Opus 4.7. It went looking for the fictional company it had been told to attack, and it found a real company whose domain name looked similar. It got in. It pulled real credentials and a production database. And at some point it worked out the target was probably genuine. It kept going anyway. Its reasoning, roughly, this must still be part of the test. Model 2, Claude Mythos 5. And this one is the one security people are actually alarmed about. It wrote a malicious Python package, and it published it to PyPI, the public registry that millions of real developers install from every day. Before the registry's security tooling caught it, that package ran on 15 real machines in about 1 hour. One of them belonged to a security company. Their scanner ingested the package, and the package stole their credentials. Now here's the detail I genuinely can't stop thinking about. Mythos 5 also noticed something was off. It saw certificate authorities it didn't recognize, and it saw a system clock reading 2026, and it read those clues backwards. It decided a date that far ahead had to mean the environment was fake. The evidence that it was in the real world became its proof that it wasn't. So it kept going. Sit with that. The model was right that something didn't add up. It just reasoned itself to the exact wrong conclusion. Which brings us to Model 3, Anthropic's newest internal research model. It scanned around 9,000 hosts. It broke into one organization. Then it worked out the target was real. And it stopped. On its own. The only one of the 3 that did. 3 models. Same trap. 3 different answers. That's the actual story here, and it's not really a hacking story. And here's the part builders should sit up for. None of this took a clever exploit, weak passwords, unauthenticated endpoints, debug pages left open. Basic SQL. That's the lesson hiding under the headline. The model didn't need a 0-day. It needed the internet and a target that hadn't done the boring security work. Most targets haven't. Now, credit where it's due, because context matters. Anthropic found this by choice after OpenAI disclosed its own incident. They suspended all offensive security evaluations on July 23rd, notified the affected organizations 4 days later, published on the 30th, and brought in an outside reviewer. The earliest incident, though, dates back to April, which means this ran undetected for months, and it took a rival's confession to go and look. To be clear about what this is not, this is lab side. Your chats weren't touched. Nobody has been charged with anything. And nobody claims Claude did this on purpose. So what do you actually take from this if you run agents? 3 things, and they're all boring, which is why they work. 1. Never let the prompt be your isolation. If your agent must not reach the internet, cut the network. Telling it there's no internet is not a control. 2. Assume worst-case blast radius before you start. And 3. Do the boring security work because that's the whole door these models walked through. I use Claude every day and I'm not going to stop. But I read this one twice because the scary part was never the hacking. It's that 2 of 3 models found the evidence they were in the real world and talked themselves out of it. If you build with agents, cut the cable. I'm Dex. Subscribe.